This is the video explaining the liquid density mystery investigation. So I wanted to go over with you guys this lab just because there is a lot of reading. This is a mystery that you have to use density to help solve. So there's a very, very big background story that I wanted to read through with you guys before you get started with your lab. So, three bungling would-be burglars named Agar, Bubba, and Curly decided to relieve a wealthy socialite, Mrs. Rolling in it, of her most valuable possession, a diamond necklace. After a brief stakeout, the trio entered her home while she was out. Unknowingly, of course, they tripped a silent alarm upon entry. The three located and unlocked the safe, from which they carefully removed a tall, clear canister containing 3 layers of colorless liquid. Peering down into the vessel, they saw the exquisite necklace sparkling on the bottom. The leader of the trio designated one of the others to reach down and snatch the necklace from its liquid bondage. The burglar, trembling with fear, managed to reach only into the first level of liquid before rapidly retracting his hand. Furious, the leader screamed for the second burglar to grab the priceless prize. The second would-be thief, shaking like a leaf, reached down as far as the second liquid layer before hastily pulling back his hand. The boldest burglar, giving up on his 2 timid cohorts, plunged his hand down to the bottom of the container and triumphantly withdrew the necklace. At this instant, they heard the distant wail of a siren and stampeded from the house. As they were racing across the front lawn, a patrol car rounded the corner, freezing Agar, Bubba, and Curly in their tracks. As the officer approached, they raised their hands in the air and surrendered. The diamond necklace was also recovered on the lawn where one of the thieves had dropped it. It is now up to the police to determine which thief had actually snatched the necklace from the bottom of the canister. At the station, the 3 were required to hold their hands under a special light that caused the liquids found in the container to glow different colors. Agar's hand was coated in a liquid that glowed red, Bubba's hand was coated in a liquid that glowed blue, and Curly's hand was coated in a liquid that glowed yellow. Fortunately, any liquid picked up in a higher layer of the canister was washed off in the next deeper layer, so the crime lab scientists were certain they could determine who reached into the bottom of the canister. So, just to kind of clarify what happened, we have a canister and it has 3 different layers of liquid, but to the burglars, it just looks clear. Now, one burglar, the first one reached his hand down but he got scared, and so he only made it through the first layer of liquid. The second burglar was able to reach down far enough. He got down to the second layer of liquid. And when you reach the second layer of liquid, it washes off the first layer. And then the burglar who actually stole the necklace, he was able to reach down through all 3 layers. So when he got down to the third, it washed off the second layer, and he just had the residue from the third layer. Now remember, this is all science fiction. This really can't happen. So when you're asking yourself how would liquids rub off, it really doesn't happen. It's just to help you guys kind of play up the investigation. So the crime lab separated the liquids from Mrs. Rolling in its canister and added dye to indicate the color that they glowed under the light, but carelessly forgot to record the order in which the liquids were layered. Your job is to relayer the liquids in the canister in the proper sequence to determine which thief stuck his hand all the way to the bottom to retrieve the necklace. That person will be charged with first-degree burglary, while the remaining 2 will be charged as primary and secondary accomplices. Submit your evidence to the district attorney, who will charge the criminals according to their degree of dastardliness. So your objective is to determine which burglar, Agar, Bubba, or Curly, reached into the bottom of a canister to steal Mrs. Rolling in its diamond necklace. You will do this by combining 3 different colored liquids in the proper sequence so that no mixing occurs. So what you're going to need 4 test tubes, test tube holder, 3 pipettes, medicine cup, 3 mystery liquids, a balance, and goggles. And then you're going to follow the procedure, and you have to figure out how to layer the liquids. And then when you do figure it out, you're going to fill out this chart here. So which burglar reached the top, the middle, and the bottom. And then remember, the first degree burglary, that's the person that actually reached all the way down to the bottom layer and actually grabbed the necklace. And then the other two would just be an accomplice. And then you need to answer the questions. You guys can go ahead and get started on this lab.